All right. So I think we nailed that. Doing the call-in
Nailed it.
show in 2 weeks, so we got plenty of time to brace for it. I'll announce it tonight and next Sunday, and we'll go from there. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the TBC Weekly. So pumped to have everybody here. I hope people are popping in the chat. I promise I will get to your comments and your questions. We're going to do that. I will get to it, I promise. But first, you know what we have to do. It would not be a Sunday night if we didn't have our guy, newest member of the Big Ten Network, introduce our show. Can you hear that?
No. Tyvis, where you at, buddy? Tyvis, my man.
Wow.
Can't hear you.
Let's try it again. Apologies.
And we're live.
Share.
And we're live.
Share the sound.
There he is.
Yeah. Let my man talk. Let my man talk.
What's going on there?
Welcome to the Buckeye Cast. These guys was born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe to the show. Now pour up a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick. Get him, Joe.
All right, Tyvis, thank you. Hopefully everybody got that. Not sure what happened with the audio initially. But yes, pull up a stool, pour a drink. You know it's Sunday night. You know it's 8 o'clock. And we are talking Buckeye freaking football. Please hit us with a super chat, a super thanks, all that super shit on YouTube. We're trying to get to 3,000 subs. We got a nice little surge today. Surge. I'm a huge Beverly Hills Cop fan. Anyway, question for the chat. Let me post it in there. You guys can give me your responses. Would you rather have a 5-star running back or a 5-star wide receiver? Answer in the chat. We're here. We're here. We're going. We had a nice little commitment today. I got Jeff and Shawn here. How do you guys feel about Jeremiah McClellan popping into the being he's actually recruit number 20 in this class, 4-star out of St. Louis. Jeff, what do you think?
I was expecting it, bro. Expecting it, but also looking at him being the 20th recruit and it being a so lopsided offense and so many guys we've lost out, so many of these type of guys that we lose out on defense. So it was a reminder that we're still missing somewhere on defense. But I expected this. Great to hear. Another receiver class, top to bottom, top shelf from Heartline. Well done, sir. He's stacking them consistently. Our wide receiver class.
And he's gone.
It's done now. It's solid. It's very nice. Hey, you there? Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know what happened. I'm standing right here. But it's another reminder, just another reminder that, you know, our offense is soaring ahead of our defense again in the class. And it's a couple of years now, and it needs to be rectified. But excited for him. So excited to get this kid. He's dynamic. Beat out some good schools for him.
Yeah. John, what do you think? This kid's a big dude. 6 foot 190 as a coming into his senior year. That seems sizable, right?
He got the length
and some poundage.
Yeah. So no, this is a great get. It just, again, what can you say about it? Heartline putting together a crazy wide receiver class. it's been like this year after year, and these are the dudes we get. I mean, he's a top 100 player. What is he? Our third best wide receiver. Yeah, he's going to fit in nicely. I feel like we get 3 of these studs a year, and probably won't see him for a year or two, just because there's so many dudes. But yeah, great get. And isn't that Christian Brothers? Is that where Zeke was from?
That was Cam Babb and Cam Brown were from Christian
Yes.
Brothers, and also little guy.
We do have a connection there, yes, Shawn. Yeah, but no, and I can't remember Zeke's school off the top of my head, but we do pull some kids out of the St. Louis area.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mookie Cooper and J.K. Johnson, the DB, were both from
That's right.
Christian
That's
Brothers
right.
as well.
Mookie Cooper, where's he at?
Man,
I
that
went
must
to
be a
Missouri.
that must be a heck of a program out there in St. Louis.
You'd think, yeah, doing all right. You can find me in St. Louis. All right, bourbon talk. Let's get to that quickly. Shawn, what do you got in your glass tonight?
I got some tequila in my glass right now, but I did have a little pour last night of I don't know if you tried it. I don't know if we've talked about it before, but the chicken cock. I'm a big fan.
I'm not a big fan of the cock.
I like
I
the
can see where you are. I can understand you are, but yeah.
Smooth, man.
Uh-huh.
Smooth.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, I had some of that last night.
Okay. Jeff, go.
Sazerac.
That's good
Little
shit.
Sazerac.
I'm a big fan.
Yes.
It's
That's like
pretty
saying the word.
smooth.
That's like saying that name too.
Yeah, it's pretty smooth for a rye. Like
It is, and I wanted to say Sazerac on the podcast tonight. So Sazerac,
What's
it
up,
is.
rye guy?
pump bitch.
Oh, bitch.
I used to do that.
We're also
to
big Dave Chappelle fans here on the podcast.
I used to do that to this dude at work.
In addition to Joe's Beverly Hills Cop favorites, we are Dave Chappelle. So you will hear Dave Chappelle lines on this show if you are new to listening. We'll try to keep it clean as much as possible. But
coming up this week, we got Ryan Day press conference. You can get all of that here. So probably would be wise right now to go hit subscribe. Oh, and while you're there, hit like. That would be more useful. Monday, we got Ryan Day's press conference. He moved it back from Wednesday. Apparently,
moved it up.
Whatever. They have the tight ends on Monday as well. So the reasoning was after the scrimmage on Saturday, the first scrimmage of the fall, they didn't want the tight ends to have to answer questions about a scrimmage and, be kind of pressured into all these just responses that they don't really have the aptitude to respond to. So anyway, we got Ryan Day this Monday. Usually it's Wednesdays, and player interviews, tight ends, all that. Obviously, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll hit you with the rush hour at 4:30 to 5 o'clock. Monday, keep an eye out for this one. You might enjoy it. We're doing the recruiting update show on current targets across the board. What are we looking at? And especially at tackle, we got a couple guys in our sights, receiver as well, D-line, of course. And so check that out. And then going forward, we're almost into full season Sunday night show, the TBC Weekly. We're going to do the predict the scores next Sunday. And then the Sunday after that, it's fucking game week. We're doing the pregame shit we always do. We'll break down the losers. We're going to do our microscopes where we each give a player on offense and defense that we are paying attention to for the game and you should focus on. And then we're also doing our score predictions, around the horn. And I see Stephen Cherry's already in the chat. So I call that the Stephen Cherry special. Anything that has prediction in the title should have Stephen Cherry in the title, right?
My man.
Yeah. So, all right. For tonight, though, before we get into the team over-unders, want to give some quick recruiting updates. Obviously, we had the 4-star receiver, Jeremiah McClellan, commit tonight. I did a breakdown of that. So check that out here on the channel. Then we got next is the 5-star D lineman from Buford, Edric Houston, Tuesday, August 22nd. So a week from this Tuesday. That is the next big get. That is a must win for the Buckeyes. Then you got the 5-star O lineman, Brandon Baker from Modern Day. That's going to be probably a December decision. He's doing visits throughout the season. Then you got 4-star safety, Saquon Patterson from Chaminade Prep down in South Florida. He's supposed to be back on campus this fall, so don't expect a decision anytime soon. And then, the other tackle, I forgot to loop those together. Jordan Seaton from the DC area, but goes to IMG, the 4-star. He has confirmed that he will take an official visit to Ohio State October 6th. That's the week of the Maryland game.
Okay.
He's
also, you said, right?
DC, yeah, but he goes to IMG down here.
Maryland game. I got you.
Right. So easy dub. But he will be taking official visits to LSU, Florida.
Is it?
I would assume. Oklahoma, Oregon, and South Carolina. He's taking an unofficial to Alabama in the fall as well. So this guy is still like in his exploration phase of the recruiting process.
Safe to say he's probably maybe a signing day announcement.
Definitely December. Yeah, it could be February. Who knows? So he's just
like Brandon Baker. I expect him on signing day to have like a televised on ESPN type thing.
Oh yeah, I don't know about all that, but
I don't know if he's that high a profile. But Brandon Baker would be high profile enough to get a live look in with ESPN cameras there.
All right. Then last recruiting tidbit, we have 2025 5-star Florida safety, DJ Pickett. He's a top-ranked safety in the 25 class. He released a top 13 this week.
Jesus.
Ohio State, Florida, Florida State, Michigan, Georgia, Texas LSU, South Carolina, Oregon, Penn State, Texas A&M, Alabama, and Miami. Because no list would be complete without Miami at the very end. So, hey, we got to remember his older brother, Booker Pickett, is a 2024 DN/edge outside linebacker type. Basically, he's being recruited as the jack position. So he's undersized for a DN. He's only like 205. So even if you slam 40 pounds on him, he's still not a 260-pound DN. So he's a jack.
Athlete, though.
He would be a jack. Yeah, he had 30 sacks. Booker Pickett, the 24 guy, he had 30 sacks last year as a junior, 16 TFLs on top of that. So dude's a beast. He knows how to get at the quarterback, but and the Buckeyes are going hard after him. He's going to be visiting during the season. So this is a must get. And then when you tack on the 2025 little brother, safety, DJ Pickett, we need the top safety in the class, obviously.
Yes.
So this is a domino effect that hopefully falls into Buckeyes' favor. Okay. That's your recruiting update. I got a lot more tomorrow on the rush hour. We have more details. So don't miss that. Okay. Next. What do you guys think of this? Harbaugh's 4-game suspension is canceled. How's that?
The NCAA canceled it. They said no, just kidding. We apologize. Sorry. You can have him back. We know you can go if you want. What happened?
Fully
Who canceled them? Who
understand
canceled
it.
them?
I feel like the way I read it, like Michigan said, okay, here's what we're going to offer as punishment. And then the NCAA rejected it. You can coach this year. We're going to deal with this in 24.
Yeah. Well, yeah, basically, unless they come up with a new
punishment was given,
agreement.
though.
What?
Punishment was given. The NCAA gave it.
That was handed down to the committee on infractions by the other committee on committees, you know. So the committee on infractions disagreed with the disciplinary shit, and so this case will now go to a hearing, which will probably not take place before the end of this year.
Wow.
So, doesn't really change anything, honestly. They were going to snowball those first 4 games anyway, so just interesting.
It doesn't. It just shows, though, the inadequacies of the NCAA. You know what I mean? Like,
I know it's
why
it's embarrassing at this point.
It's like oh no, we couldn't have actually made it official, even though we put out a press release and it was all over the news. 4-game suspension handed down by the NCAA. Like, how do you let it just go? And that was weeks, 2 weeks ago. And now they're just backtracking, like, oh, sorry, no, we fucked up. We couldn't actually do it officially. Then we're gonna have this another hearing, and then when it gets knocked down to either 1 game or no games or whatever, they're gonna look like total dog dicks again. It's just an example of that. No, it doesn't affect their season at all. 100%. I don't think this versus the suspension in the first place had any bearing on what they're going to do those first 4 games.
It seems to set a precedent, though, of how to treat the NCAA. You just stand up to them and tell them you don't know shit.
Yeah, say no, we don't. We disagree with this suspension. Here's what we think, and then they're going to be like, oh, okay, we're in negotiations. What? Yeah, that's all it does. It just shows the fucking embarrassment of that place is as a whole, as a player in college football, has a say in college football. It does not. They have the other sports. It needs to just be. Let's make it obvious. Let's separate them. All right. It's all the line is being drawn. This is just another example. You can't control shit.
Yeah. All right, let's check in on the chat here. We're about 30 minutes in. Oh, we got a lively chat tonight. It's a Sunday. You know, it's a Sunday when I see Stephen Cherry at the top of the list. Billy, first one in. Good to see you, Billy. Temper, Stephen Cherry. Stephen says 3 more weeks to go. Tyrone, my guy. Corey, good to see you again, Corey. Saw you earlier for the announcement by McClellan. Excuse me. Billy says we need Heartline to recruit defense. Billy's had a defensive hard-on for like a month. But I respect it, Billy, because you're right. We do need some edge rushers. We do need some fucking safeties. I'm not disregarding your point, Billy. I just love it when you talk about defense. Tipper, my question was basically like anytime, like just generally speaking, which would you rather have in a class? Would you rather have a 5-star running back or a 5-star receiver? So quickly, Stephen, obviously first one in on that question, because if you pose Stephen a question, he's going to give you a fucking answer. He's not going to beat around the bush or hem and haw around. Stephen says running back. Tyrone says running back. Temper says running back. Billy says wide receiver just to be different. Steven says defensive trenches need much more recruiting attention. Yes, I understand. This is just a general question just to gauge your interest. We're not making. Oh yeah, this Michigan guy is going to get fucking moderated right about now because he talks a lot of shit.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Hide this user.
Dude.
What's he saying?
Michigan guy. He has been. Oh yeah,
because you know you're gonna,
just.
you know you're gonna
Well,
make
he
him a
just tried
martyr
to take over the whole chat, dude. He put in like 20 messages in a row, so they've all been deleted.
Oh, just being an idiot. Okay.
Yeah,
He doesn't want to engage. He just wants to call it mayhem.
Yep. So
Well, I mean, I'm
had
sure
to
we
do
have
this
our
before.
fucking. I'm sure we have our side that does it to them. I'm sure. I'm sure we got some Buckeye fans.
Yeah, I would.
that are
I
just
would
have no
do the
thing
same.
better
I
than
would.
to
I would
fuck with
moderate their
comedian
fucking
podcasts.
ass.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
Odysseus
It's a
has a
game.
good-
It's all. It's
So back to the
like
question.
it's like the border between Mexico.
Odysseus says 3 and 4-star running backs can be coached up. Okay. Have you ever met Travion? Temper says, do we have any 5-star running backs in the next 2 classes? Not 5-star.
Not yet.
No. We have
Well, just
high
FYI,
4s.
guys, it is running back, and it's so easy because I just looked. There's not a 5-star running back in the 2024 class. So 5-star running backs are rare
It is
birds.
fading.
So I say you got to take those
Nowadays,
guys
yes.
they're rare.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'll say this real quick. Ezekiel Elliott, 4-star. J.K. Dobbins, 4-star. Michael Weber, 4-star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Running you will find. So just because you have a 4-star versus, there might be 2 or 3 a year. Like you said, Shawn, they're fading, just like the NFL. The NFL is showing you. So
For
the
comparison, there's
so
6 5-star receivers this year, 0 running backs.
Yeah.
Right. And that's hard to find.
Okay. So there's going to be a couple every year. There's going to be the Richard Youngs. There's going to be those, those guys that just stand out.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, the spot is fading because it's being recognized. They want to get developed to go to the NFL. Well, look what they're going into in the NFL. They're like, no, put me in the slot, coach. I'm a 3 receiver.
I think
like
Travion
but,
was
I mean,
one of the
we will
last.
take 4-stars. We will make 4-stars, make them dynamic.
Travion has to be one of the last
Down
5-star running backs, right?
I would think that.
The next class, they had Richard Young and who's the other guy that ended up at Bama?
Justice Haynes.
The other guy. Hey, Justice Haynes. I think, that their class. Their class was like, I think they had maybe 4. I think they had 4 or 5 stars that year.
Yeah.
And then you look, and 2 years later, two recruiting cycles later, we're at 0 right now.
Right.
Yeah, almost at the start of their senior years, none of them are 5-star.
Yeah.
Because there's probably 20 more 4-stars, and so you get, you can make a 4-star a great running back at Ohio State for sure. You take a number 1 receiver, you take a 5-star receiver, you take a Jeremiah Smith, and Marvin Harrison wasn't even a fucking number 1 receiver in the country. He was down the list.
He was a
4-star.
Yeah, he was a medium 4-star.
I mean, like, who the fuck is so then you draw in the question, like, you question, well, what do these guys really know? If we're going to just follow what they say these guys are, you didn't know Marvin Harrison had it in him to do this, to be this. Come on, man. Why was he not a little higher? I think we would have gotten him regardless. I don't think his ranking would have mattered where, the relationship we built. But we will take number 1 receivers in the country, Julian Fleming.
Yeah.
We have them.
Right. So
let's get them.
Just
need more. Though.
Wanted to ask that question. We got some good responses. Billy, badass Buckeye, Bab. What's up, Joe? That's what he said. I didn't say that. Billy says his great grandpappy told him about the time Notre Dame beat Ohio State. So apparently this guy that was in the chat was talking a lot of Notre Dame shit. I thought he was a Michigan fan. But regardless, he's been deleted from tonight's events.
When's the last time they beat us? When's the last time they beat us? I don't remember it. Yeah. I don't think I was alive.
Yeah. Matt Miller. Hey, Matthew Miller. Good to see you, man. I reply to your comments all the time. It's good to see you in the live show. Yeah, he's got a great point. Not even a legit title contender every year. Badass Buckeye says Notre Dame is a good team until their quarterback was not ready to be elite. That's true. Yeah, so basically everybody's just banging on this guy in the chat. Billy says, yeah, Joe blocked him. Yeah. Todd Doyle, what's up? He says running backs can be developed, recruit for speed, agility, and a frame to build on. That's an interesting
That sounds about right.
failed approach. I like it.
I like that.
Billy says, I think it's easier for a running back to play as a freshman. Okay. Well, Travion did it. I mean, we haven't seen too many receivers do that. I mean, you can talk about Chris Olave.
Recruiting wise, I think a lot of it has to do with recruiting. Heartline has had such a deep pool for a lot longer than Alfred has. Alfred had some dips, remember? Alfred has missed out on a lot of guys, Richard Young included, Justice Haynes included. So I think that can be misleading. You know, a much deeper pool before you start paying attention to it can change the trajectory of a room, of possession room or position room.
Stephen Cherry's already throwing out predictions. He might have already had a drink or two, but he says the Buckeyes are going 10-1, winning the Big Ten and CFP. Stephen, we played 12 regular season games, sir. Anyways,
right now he's saying, you know the fuck I meant. You know he's yelling that right now.
No, maybe Steven is an oracle and knows that the game's going to get canceled because some COVID bullshit or something.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Let that happen, and then let this chat. This chat is going to blow the fuck up. Stephen Terry, the Oracle. He's got a new name. No more Mad Dog. It's the Oracle, and that's a way cooler name. Way cooler.
We'll see, because we're going to keep track of Steven's score predictions and everything, the team totals going forward, and we're going to talk about this at the end of the year. And I wouldn't be surprised if Steven's on point, honestly. And I just like a guy that will give you a straight answer. He won't go gray areas. It's black and white. This is the record. Yes or no. Boom, done. On to the next one. What's your next question, Joe? That's what I love about Steve Cherry. But anyways, so I think we got past the running back wide receiver thing. Seems like running back is the lean. We had a few guys later here in the chat that were saying you could coach up a 3 to 4 star, but let's see. Steven says, I had me some crown. Is that this fucking chat is blocking the rest of your sentence? I think it says, I have some crown, give me a pass. All right, you can ask crown.
I've said the sentence, I'm having me some crown, give me a pass. I've uttered that sentence.
Okay.
We got
can't identify with
on that crown, man. That crown, that I've went on some of my worst nights are Crown Royal related.
All right. Todd Doyle in the chat. Appreciate you, Todd. Been a while since we've seen you. He says Tony Alford has an NFL back every year. Henderson and Williams will both get drafted after this year, and his recruiting is working. Last year didn't have any because we kept them all. Yeah. I got you, Steve, Crown Royal.
There was just a couple years though where he missed out on some guys, and it's probably because the depth. It might be because Evan Pryor was here, but he was injured though, so he was kind of like out of the picture for a year. I'm not saying I'm not banging on Alfred for missing out on a couple of the. He went after the best of the best in the country. I'm not going to bang on him for that. We have a strong room. I feel great about the room we have currently. So I'm not banging on Tony Alford at all. I'm just saying what I was saying.
All right. So Shawn, what was your verdict on
you don't need
wide receiver, 5-star wide receiver versus 5-star running back?
Well, definitely running back, like I said, just because they're unicorns. And if you're a 5-star running back, you're a different dude. And you're a dude that people are going to notice out there. I just told you the thing that there's no 5-star running backs in 24. I just looked, and there's one 5-star running back in 25 right now. Looks to be a smaller kid, so I don't know if he can put on weight, but he's.
And what does that really? This kid's going into his junior year at tailback, so he's ran So he's probably most likely you've seen him for 1 year of varsity football as a sophomore. And you're
Well,
projecting
they're probably getting.
what does that mean? So what I'm
more
saying,
than
like, what does that 5 versus that 4 really mean from a 94 to an 88? I don't think there's any difference. I don't think there's a good. I don't think these people.
I think there's a huge
running
difference.
backs.
I think if you looked at the metrics and had a guy that was a 94 ranked prospect against the 88 ranked prospect in their star rating, I mean that to me that's big. I'll bet you the rate that they go on to the NFL is a big difference.
If you're trusting who's giving that rating, Sean, that's what I'm getting at, Sean.
Yeah, but that's why you go with the composite. There's
rating.
different services, and of course they miss on dudes, and some dudes are late bloomers. But when you're a 5-star, you're a dude. Period. You're a dude.
Right.
And you never see 5 stars.
And I wish I had the information. We could just go through the last 4 years of 5-star running backs and see where they are now. I don't have it all. I would like to do that, Joe. Maybe we could do that for another.
I'll bet almost all those guys
another night of the
really
week.
successful.
Like a 3-hour fucking behind the scenes, real in depth podcast with video and everything. Me and Sean could look back at the last 5 years.
Okay.
I don't. 4 stars. I think 4 stars. You can build 4 stars into great.
But to me, just because that's your your Robinsons, that's your they're your unicorns. The Travions, what he came in and did.
Yeah, B-Town one of the last 5-star running backs, right? And he went first round real high.
So these are the guys that I'm talking about. And to me, if you get a running back that's like that, like I said, there's 6 5-star wide receivers. There's next year's class where I looked. There's 4 or 5 receivers ahead of that 1 5-star running back that's in there. So to me, those guys move up and down more. I feel the receivers do, and there's just more of them. They're easy to get, and especially easy to get when Brian Hartline's your coach. So I'll take the 5-star running back any day.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So let's get into these. Let's talk team totals. Before we get into the team totals, I wanted to lay this out. What's that?
We're going in deep. It's the team total. That's deep waters.
Yeah, the team win totals for every top 20 team. And we're I'll lay out the strength of schedule. But first, I wanted to tell you guys that there are, as of right now, I'm going by conferences before the 2024 changeover of all the teams moving and the Pac-12 dissolving into the Pacific. So the 5 current conferences have teams playing 10 or more Power 5 opponents. Okay, let me run this down. It's just 5 of them. ACC, 10 of the 15 with Notre Dame included are playing 10 or more Power 5 opponents. Okay, so 10 teams out of that conference are playing 10 or more Power 5 opponents. That includes Notre Dame. Okay. Big 10, 13 of 14 are playing 10 or more. Big 12, 11 of 14 playing 10 or more Power 5s. Pac-12, 10 of 12 playing 10 or more Power 5s. SEC, this is the highlight. That's why I saved it for last.
We know.
SEC, 2 of 14 teams are playing 10 or more Power 5 opponents. Why is that? Well, when you only play 8 conference games and you play a shitty non-con, this is what you get.
The week before, usually the week before your rivalry game.
Well, that's one of their weak opponents. That's one of the weakest, but it's not just that. It's throughout the season, Sean. Because they're playing less than 10 Power 5 teams.
Joe, it's because their conference is inflated so much by reputation and overall standard over the past 20 years of college football.
Yeah.
And it's multiple teams. They have 2 big ones to stand on right now. two big columns to put in front, but there's other teams in there. So it's their. The SEC does a great job of this. Sankey does a great job of this, of letting everybody know that our greatness will fucking radiate off of us, and it'll reverberate for years, even when we're maybe down. You're gonna get this fucking glow of when we were at our apex, dominating this whole country. So he does a great job of letting know that SEC, they still have the national champions. So they can mask their middle ground. They can mask that under, because they all are willing to prop each other up, saying at least the South won it. But their middle ground is shaky at best against what the current divisions are or conferences are, and going forward next year, their middle ground will fall to the wayside, because the middle ground in these other conferences, Big Ten included, obviously, will be way bigger, way better.
I don't know about that. You got Oklahoma and Texas joining over there too.
It's going to make it interesting, right?
You know, A&M.
I'm saying, but they're middle.
Money, like, they could find
Oklahoma is going to be at the SEC middle, I think, in 2 to 3 years. Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. But I mean, but I think their middle, Oklahoma at fucking.
If Oklahoma's the middle, that's pretty damn good.
If they're 8-4, is 8-4 Oklahoma really that good, or is it? Well, it's fucking Oklahoma. No, maybe it's not Oklahoma anymore when they're 8-4. But I think Wisconsin 8-4 with Luke Fickell and the way the money, the way it's all going to shape out. I think Luke Fickell is going to do a fucking phenomenal job at Wisconsin, and I think a 8-4 Wisconsin would wipe the dog fucking mat with an 8-4 Oklahoma in 2 years. Bold prediction. Mark it down, Joe, if you want.
It is bold.
I'm just saying. I think
well,
it's gonna.
I wasn't looking for that
kind
of
of
bold prediction tonight, but I'll take it, I guess.
Mark it down. You hear it live. Here we go.
All right. So let's talk team win totals. We're going to go through 1 through 20. I also added Wisconsin in because they were number 21, and they're a Big Ten team, and I care about the Big Ten more than the rest of the country. So we'll get to the middle part of this top 20. We might not care so much about, but I wanted to lay it out. Especially, I wanted to include Oregon and Washington, since they're going to be joining us a year from now. Excuse me. So we do have to actually care. So this is the coaches poll. It's the only poll available right now, to my knowledge. I know it's not the coaches actually doing it, but you got to remember, when we talk about these polls, preseason polls, this is a starting point from where people move. So if you're highly ranked, you might not move as far down as if you're lowly ranked in these preseason polls, So depending on how you do, of course, but if you only take 1 or 2 losses and you're ranked number 3, you'll still be in the top 10 most likely. So these do mean a little bit, but I'm just using it for the order of our team win totals tonight. All right. So obviously Georgia is number 1. And I want to give you their strength of schedule. Their strength of schedule, again, is just fucking abysmal. It's terrible. It's 56th in the country. Their over-under is 11.5 wins. So I'm going to keep track of all these predictions right here. Go ahead. Shawn, what do you think? Over under 11.5 wins by the Bulldogs.
I got the under.
Okay.
Cheers to you, Shawn.
I think they put a lot of serious dudes in the NFL last year. I know they still got a ton of talent there, but new quarterback, lots of dudes in the NFL. I just feel like they'll drop one along the way. I still feel they're the favorite to win the Natty, but I feel like they'll drop one along the way. Tennessee or somebody.
And it's only 1 loss to hit the under, right? Seems like a safe bet. Go ahead, Jeff.
Joe, obviously, Joe, I think that's a smart play. I'm right with Shawn, 100%.
Okay.
Everything he just said was what I was going to say. They're going to drop one along the way somewhere. Under is a very safe bet, I feel.
Okay. Sounds good. You should know the under has a lot of juice, minus 150. So makes sense. All right. Michigan's number 2 in the country. They do have the 67th ranked strength of schedule. Again,
good for them. Good for Michigan.
What they do. That's what they do. They follow the SEC scheduling model to a T.
Why not?
Over under is 10.5 wins. Jeff, what do you got?
Over. I would love. I won't go high on this bet because I would love to lose it. But I will go over. Their schedule is dog shit.
All right, Shawn, what do you
got? They got a great team.
What'd you say the over under was?
10.5.
Yeah, I got the over. I'm going pretty much the same as Georgia. I think they'll drop one along the way. But I feel they'll lose one.
But their best team.
I'm glad Harbaugh's there. He's not a very good in-game coach, I don't feel. So he'll make some boneheaded time management screw up. So yeah, I'm thinking.
I hear they have a tough game last week of the season. So maybe that's the one they lose.
New quarterback. You never know.
So yeah, I'm going over as well. We're all in line there. Alabama is number 3 in the country. They do have a strength of schedule 8th in the country. I was going to pull that up, and then I did something else. But I'll pull it up right now. They got what the fuck is an MTSU?
That's it could be Mountain State, Montana
Middle
State.
Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee. Yeah. Middle Tennessee. That's a stomping ground for all.
Let me run through the schedule real quick. We got Bama's schedule, Middle Tennessee, then home against Texas, then at South Florida, then home against Ole Miss, at Mississippi State, at Texas A&M, home against Arkansas, home against Tennessee, home against LSU, at Kentucky, at Chattanooga, then at Auburn. So you got a little bit of a three-game stretch there.
At University of Chattanooga, or they were playing in Chattanooga?
Does it matter?
I'm just saying, are they playing Chattanooga?
That's the game. They're playing Chattanooga.
Okay, all right. Okay, sorry.
Not in Chattanooga.
I thought you were saying that they were playing the previous game in Chattanooga. Okay, you got Chattanooga threw me off. I'm sorry. Threw me off of Chattanooga in the schedule. That's amazing.
So over under 10.5 for the Tide.
Over. Come on.
Yeah.
LSU is going to be I would pick both of them being undefeated at that point, and it's going to be a huge showdown fight. I think LSU might have a better team, but playing at Bama, that's going to be the first, one of the first big games of the season.
Yeah.
Early October.
Yeah, Shawn, what do you got?
I'll go under. I go under.
Huh? Okay.
Under. Ooh.
I think they're going to drop 2 in here somewhere. Again, they got a new quarterback situation that they're looking into, and that's a tough schedule. They better be on their toes. Week 2 against Texas.
Yeah. You got the
fucking Ole Miss. Lane's always got a hair up his ass for Saban, and then you're going to be at Texas A&M. Arkansas always plays tough.
Yeah.
You're in a football game, and then that's a tough stretch.
I agree. I'm going over as well.
Yeah, that mullet could have got him. I think if he didn't get injured, Texas beats Bama last year. You're right. I mean, but you know what? But Bama's at least willing to. They step out and they play that one big. They play one big, early season game.
So the juice is minus 180 on the under. So I think we're mostly in line. Jeff, you went over. You were plus 150, so you might want to play that if you really feel strongly in that regard. So
It's-
Buckeyes
it-
are
it-
next.
until they don't do it, Joe. It's Bama. I mean, until they don't
All
do
right.
it, I'll bet on Salem.
All right.
I've been better off
Buckeye-
than not.
Okay. Buckeyes, number 4 in the country. Over under is 10.5 wins. Let me run through the schedule right quick. It is, if you don't know it by now, you should. Indiana at Indiana, week 1. Then home against Youngstown State, home against Western Kentucky, at Notre Dame, home against Maryland, at Purdue, home against Penn State, at Wisconsin, at Rutgers, home against Michigan State, home against Minnesota, then at Michigan. Your bye week is between Notre Dame and Maryland, week 5-ish.
5 to 6. Early October. 4 to 5. Early October, right, Joe?
Yep.
First, second week.
Well, it'd be
okay.
September 30th, technically.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. We got started. You said 10.5, right?
Yep, over under 10.5.
Regular season
Even
wins.
money on both sides. That's the last time I'm going to tell you the juice.
Right. Regular season wins. I'm over. I think I will
Okay.
sit happily on 11.
What do you got, Shawn?
We have it. I think we have it in us. Shawn.
Did you fall off?
Shawn's out.
He's
We're
muted.
we're getting the brass
Oh,
tacks,
sorry
bro.
about that,
Oh.
guys.
And we're back.
Yeah, I went over.
Over on the
Definitely
Buckeyes,
over.
10.5.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel that like you said earlier, it gives us a chance to lose one. You know, we got a couple of tough stretches. We had that buys between Notre Dame and Maryland, or at least somewhere in there, because Notre Dame, Maryland, I think Maryland's going to be a solid team. It's going to be a football game.
Yes.
Purdue should
Yeah.
be easy. But then that's a tough stretch. Then Penn State and Wisconsin, that's right in the middle, and that's the meat of the schedule there. And then at
That
the
is-
end, you know, obviously I'm worried about that last game a little bit.
We're
more than
up there
that,
with their best team. Yeah.
But more than that, I think the week before, if Minnesota is kind of what I think they're going to be, which is a solid football team, that could be a trap game.
At home, I don't think they do. Whether you know, we played that game like in was it 15 with that horrible fucking sleet and like
No.
like blowing sideways ice.
What did you say our strength of schedule was on that, Joe?
Oh, we are 27th.
Yeah. Shawn, I already put mine in.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
say
I'm
we're
over. I just there's lots of spots where
I mean, there is
lots of
we have
pitfalls
the
in that
potential though.
schedule.
Like we both believe though that the team is good enough to go over on those wins to 11 at least. But you know, we're waiting on a quarterback we haven't seen. So whoever it ends up being.
Yeah. All right.
But,
We're not
yeah,
breaking
but
down
yeah.
each game. So let's move on. LSU, they have the 13th ranked strength of schedule. Over under is 9.5. Didn't this team win like 10 games last year or 11?
Yeah. With the bowl game. I think 10-2 with the bowl game win.
They
I go
opened with
over.
Florida State.
Yeah. And that's
Right.
a big time game. But I think they beat Florida State. I think they're better. It's a better roster, better coach. And I think that springboards them and keeps them high in the rankings. I'll go over on 10 wins.
Right. Jeff goes over. What do you got, Shawn? 9.5. Seems pretty low.
That Bama game.
Let me give
is
you the
huge.
schedule.
That
real
Bama game.
quick. I'm not going to do this for every team, but for LSU, I will because they're an interesting team to me.
The SEC
They got
schedule, yeah.
home against Florida State, home against Grambling, at Mississippi State, home against Arkansas, at Ole Miss, at Missouri, home against Auburn, home against Army, at Bama, home against Florida, home against Georgia State, and then home against Texas A&M.
I mean,
So
they know right where to
they're
put
road-
these lines. I mean, they're going to lose 2 of these
Yeah.
games for sure. It's just
Yeah,
are they going to lose
Bama.
that third one?
Yeah,
Right.
Bam. Yeah,
Right.
Bama's
They're
a
at
loss.
Bama. Is it though? I mean, that's going to be the biggest game of the year. Like I said, I think they're both undefeated when they get to that game. But I think that's a huge, like 2012 almost. Like maybe 1 versus 2 at that point. We'll see.
They got 3 easily losable games: Florida State, Bama.
Yes,
and
and that's
A&M.
neutral site. The
And
Florida State game is the Florida State game is in Orlando at the Citrus Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's neutral site. That's their big kickoff celebration.
But then you got A&M, you got Florida in there. Even though those are at home, those are tough opponents. So I could see them losing 2 games out of this schedule. I'm going under. I'm going under on 9.5.
All right, so you think they may drop a third? Okay. Yeah. I mean, what's the juice on that?
Over is 120, minus 120, and then under is minus 110. I'm
So
going
it's
to
either
go
way, yeah.
against it. I'm going against it. You guys both got over, right?
I think so.
All right. So next up, we got USC. They are strength of schedule 50th in the country. So another fucking cupcake here. Yeah. Over under is an even 10. The unusual flat number at a tenner.
Really?
Let's we can do a quick investigation into their schedule because they play the Pac non-existent. They open the season home against San Jose State, home against Nevada,
yes.
home against Stanford, at Arizona State, at Colorado, home against Arizona, at Notre Dame, home against Utah, at Cal, home against Washington, and at Oregon, and home against UCLA. I see 1, 2, 3,
Counting them.
4, 3. I got 3 games that are going to be very difficult.
Right? Coin flips. At Oregon, at Notre
Washington,
Dame,
Utah. No,
and at Notre Dame, right?
Okay, that's 4 then. Over unders 10. Sounds like a solid under to me.
You know what? With the returning Heisman, the hype, their offense is. I don't know. It's a big question. Is USC's defense on par with their offense to be able to play at a national level?
Never has been, and probably will not be.
Right. It hasn't. It hasn't been since the early 2000s when it was.
What is dead can never die.
Right. When they had pros at every position. USC does not have pros at every position. Ooh. If I had to say right now, and this is a bet I would lay off of for sure. I will go under.
Okay.
But there's not a lot of confidence. There's not money being laid that way.
I'm over.
Over, huh? Okay.
I don't know.
I'm over.
I gotta see it. I gotta see it before I believe it. I'll check some
Heisman front runner,
Hold on.
Lincoln Riley. A weak schedule. Notre Dame ain't gonna be shit.
You heard it here first.
And Lincoln Riley plays easy.
He's got a Heisman quarterback, so that will get you through some of those tougher games. This is a tough one.
Is it right?
I mean, I sure wish it was 9.5. I mean, I love 9.5.
Me too.
Well, yeah. We all would, Sean. Thanks.
Even 10.5, I can get on board with that.
But this is a bet especially when I see that line at 10, a flat number. I'm off. I'm laying off of it. Especially because I have no good feeling either way towards the bet off of the 10. So I would lay off of this, honestly. I would lay away.
You can call
it.
push.
I'm like, no, you don't get my chips. My chips go somewhere else.
Yeah. So Sean, what do you think?
I'm going over. It's Lincoln Riley.
I'm going over too. Same reason.
Yeah, if he did it at Oklahoma all those years, he's got better players, and at USC. I feel like they're going to be solid. I don't know
They
if they're
got a
going to be
bunch of-
I don't know if they're going to be like playoff, like win
Yeah.
playoff games solid. I see them more like the old Oklahoma, good enough to make the playoffs and get blown out by somebody.
Exactly.
But
They brought in a bunch of transfers on defense. I will say that. So
they did.
maybe
They
they've
tried to
upgraded.
build it. You're right, Joe. They're right. They tried to build it.
Unfortunately,
So,
they
I
did
mean,
not bring a transfer coach in on the defensive side of the ball. Grinch is still there teaching guys to not tackle. So anyway, I'm going over to, just because of the weak ass schedule, that's it. And having a Heisman quarterback will get you out of a lot of jams the way he plays, at least.
Yeah. I'm a Homer Simpson's fading into the hedges. You know what I mean?
All right, that's
Like
fine.
I'm out. I'm mad.
Back
I
your
want
ass
nothing
up.
to do with this bet. Nothing to do
All
with this bet.
Penn State up next. We got a Big Ten team here. We got to talk about over under of 9.5. They have the 60th ranked strength of schedule. So this seems like it could be doable at a 9.5. That seems pretty low for a 60th ranked strength of schedule, right? I mean, let me run down here.
Well,
Starting off with West Virginia at home, Delaware at home, at Illinois, home against Illinois, at Northwestern, home against
Iowa.
UMass, the
Sorry,
Fighting
what?
Don Browns. At
Joe.
what?
After Illinois, you said Illinois was home and away. We playing
Iowa.
2 game set
Iowa.
with Illinois. You misread it. Iowa.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Iowa.
I wasn't looking at it. You said Iowa. We're home and away. I was just double checking.
Yeah, you
At
said
Iowa's at
Illinois,
home.
Illinois.
Iowa at home.
All right, stop. Let me repeat the entire schedule.
Yeah.
Home against West Virginia, home against Delaware, at Illinois, home against Iowa, at Northwestern, home against UMass, at Ohio State, home against Indiana, at Maryland, home against Michigan, home against Rutgers, at Michigan State. That is your 9.5 over under. Again, ranked 60th.
Joe, I take the over. I think
Okay.
Penn State is a 10-2 team.
I think so too. Shawn, what do you got?
It's difficult.
Oh yeah.
It's difficult. You know, Ohio State and Michigan. You got
Losses.
those two, right?
Yeah.
And then you got
Michigan at home. I stayed on the road.
that
Michigan at home.
Illinois isn't going to be a picnic.
No,
I'm telling you.
no. Even though it's summertime, it's not a picnic.
Home versus Iowa was okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be trash. I mean, they put those lines right where they should be, you know. And
Yeah. It's a one game. It comes down to that
I'm
one
a little
game.
high on them. I'm gonna go 10-2 also. I got them over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their defense has pros, multiple pros. They're legit. You know what I mean? If Drew Aller, it all becomes down to the quarterback, and that's why they're not getting as
Right.
much love, Joe, on the line, is because
For
Aller's
sure.
not proven enough.
Yeah.
But if he's a dude, and there's signs that he is the dude, I mean, this is a kid out of Medina, Ohio.
I know. So let's keep it moving
If
here. We got like
he's
20
a
of
dude,
these.
yeah, Penn State's a threat.
So the juice is on -150 on the over. So we are all in line with the juicers. Florida State, 41st ranked strength of schedule. Their over-under is 9.5. Now they won 10 games last year, and they are the media darling this year. If you click on any college football article, they'll be the first to tell you Florida State is going to be back. They're so back 10 years later. So quickly, I'll go through the schedule, and I can't do this for every team, but home against LSU, we established that's a neutral site, allegedly. Then home against Southern Miss, at Boston College, at Clemson, seems like a big game. Home against Tech, home against Syracuse, home against Duke, at Wake Forest, at Pitt, home against Miami, home against North Alabama, then at Florida. Seems like a big game too.
What's their number
So-
at?
9.5. So you see 10 wins in
Joe?
there.
I'm going under. I'm going under on that deal.
Me too. I'm under on that shit.
Make it 3, Joe. Make it 3. We're going under.
Funny, the over has the juice. It's minus 140. Under is plus 110. So play that and make some money.
It's a game in Orlando. Start the season with LSU. That's it. That is a game.
Okay. All right. Next up, Clemson, 25th ranked strength of schedule. That's unusual for them. They're usually down in the shithole on their strength of schedule because they play a bunch of cupcakes. They do have one of those oddball even number over unders at 10 and even 10 for the Clemson Kunta Kintes. Let's see. They're home against Florida State, at Miami, home against Notre Dame, home against North Carolina, at South Carolina. Those are their tough games. What do you guys got? At an even 10.
Under.
Oh, really?
And I don't think the U is back. I do not think
So-
the U is back. Fuck all those people from down here that I live around and listen to and work with.
So you only
whatever.
see 9 wins,
U is
even though
not
the
back.
U is not back,
U is not back.
but still only
10?
9 wins.
10 under for sure.
All right.
They're not hitting 10
I like
wins
it.
regular season.
All
I do
right.
not see it. I do not see it at all.
We're talking about the Tigers, Clemson.
Clemson, yeah.
Oh shit! Oh my god, dude! I went off on Miami. I'm done with Miami.
What the fuck?
Sorry.
They play Miami.
Yes, one game. That's a one game.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Winner over that Miami game.
It is at Miami,
10.
if that makes
10.
sense.
I say under on Clemson. Under on Clemson. That's
So
a tough
9
stretch.
wins. Okay.
9 under. Yes. North Carolina might probably get them. Florida State probably get them.
Hmm.
They have,
All right.
you know, tough stretch right there.
What do you
Get
guys
some
Sean?
Big Ten games.
Sure.
I got them. I want to take the push, but I'll go over.
Yeah.
I think that schedule's trash. Notre
It
Dame's
is. A
decent.
lot of big names.
North Carolina might be the sleeper actually on there.
Sean, I
I
want to
think
hear
South
your-
Carolina is the definite loss.
Who?
South Carolina, the last game. The Battle of South Carolina. You
Yeah,
might
they're
know that.
legit. Yeah, that's a legit rival game. That's what's knocking Clemson down, I think. You're right.
I think the rest of the season is pretty much cupcake schedule, maybe except Florida State, but I'm going over as well. So
Really?
the over has the juice, minus 125, under is 105. So
You don't think much of Notre Dame?
I do not know.
Well, okay, so you guys are both thinking like after week 6, Clemson's undefeated.
Week 6.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, yeah.
Florida
okay.
State's the only tough game.
All right.
I still think they beat Florida
I
State.
mean, you have 10 wins on Clemson. I mean, count how many 10-win teams you have right now. I mean, the number's getting big, right? I mean, there's not going to be that many
Scattered
10-win
all over the
teams.
country,
Okay. All right.
not just ACC. So next up, we got
Who's
Tennessee, 18th ranked strength of schedule, over under another flat 9er. Tennessee, 9 wins. That does not sound good for the 10th ranked team in the country, right?
I take a push.
SEC 9-3.
But the SEC, everything, Joe. There's nothing else to be said. I will push on the 9.
All right.
I will predict 9. I'm putting it on the 9. Let's push it.
Oh,
And I will give
Wow.
you. I'll give you one fucking nickel. That's it. If that's all I can give.
I'm actually going to go with the over on this because I just pulled them up and looked at the schedule.
Mhm.
They,
Straight.
I mean, they played Bama and Georgia, so those
Right.
are boom. Those are 2 losses. Outside of that,
Right.
they don't play anybody.
Right. Right.
So you automatically counting 2 L's and you expect them not to get a third. That's why.
Yeah,
That's gutsy. That's gutsy to trust a program like that. That's gutsy to them not get one L.
Well, yeah, between
That's
South
gutsy.
Carolina, Florida, and
Dang.
A&M, you don't think they lose one of those?
That's what I'm saying.
They go
Too
to
many.
Florida.
We can't get
Well,
we're not going to have 9, 10-win teams.
No,
all right?
you got
We're
to tell
not
me
going
that
to
they're
have
going to
that.
lose 2 of those. Yeah, they could easily lose. That's why the line's at 9. But
Right.
I think it's more likely that they don't than they lose 2 of those games and end up 8-4. That's
Okay.
just me though. What
You're
am I
going
doing
under?
here? I'm
That's
going
me too.
over.
I'm going under. I'm going under.
Under.
There's no way. They do. Joe Milton is not taking this team to more than 9
You
wins.
watch. You watch.
You
Good
watch.
old Rocky
I'm
Top.
sorry, Joe. What was his name? Joe, say his name again. Say what his name was.
Joe Milton. Perhaps you've heard.
There you
of him.
go. Joe, yeah. Joe Milton is not your fucking, your messiah.
Yeah.
Trust
Or
me.
you're a massage therapist. Hey,
They're making moves in Knoxville, man.
Man,
yeah,
a great
moving in
fighter.
silence, aren't they? That's what that feeling was on the inside of your leg while you're face down. Hey, moving
no
on.
G's, no G's.
Trying to juice this up. Washington, future Buckeye, or I'm sorry, Big Ten team. Washington. They better get used. They better get used to being called Washington. So do you even know the over under? No, you don't. It's
Over
9.5 for Washington.
Here's your 10 win. Here's your 10 win Pac-12.
Yeah,
Here it is. Bold
Could be.
prediction.
could be.
Washington. Give me the over on 9.5.
Got Michael
10
Pennis
and 2.
at
Washington.
QB. What else do you
10
need?
and 2. 10 and 2 Washington. Yep.
I'm with you. Shawn, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm in on that as well. 10-2.
Yeah.
10x.
I know the schedule.
All right. Texas up next. Texas is 10th ranked strength of schedule. That sounds like an ouchie.
I don't know. Is Utah going to be any good? Am I discounting Utah?
Oh, yeah. They're always good.
They're going to be a handful for anybody they play. Anybody on their
Let's go.
schedule, Utah is a handful.
We're in
Yes.
third gear here. Come on.
Believe that.
Alabama, Kansas, I don't know, Oklahoma, K-State, TCU. Those are the tough games for Texas. We got them at a 9.5. What do you think? You got 3 losses in there or not?
No trips to Ole Miss. No Georgia. No Florida.
No.
Wow. No LSU.
Last year they have to play Oklahoma
Yeah.
every year. K-State,
They're
TCU.
missing-
TCU's down, obviously. They took care of Michigan last year.
But that's not going to be the same TCU.
Start off
right?
the season with food against Rice. At Baylor, home against Kansas. No.
The schedule is dog shit, but I don't know, but I don't see them at 10 wins.
TCU.
I mean,
you got TCU.
There's not that many
Oklahoma,
10 teams
Right.
you see, at the end. No, I don't see them at 10.
You don't see 10, huh?
I don't.
I
I
see
don't.
10. I'm going over.
Me too. I'm over.
Market.
All right. Over was the
Yeah.
145, minus 145 on the juice. Under was 115. So we're in line there. Notre Dame, 21st ranked strength of schedule. You can thank your Buckeyes for a large part of that. So we got, looking at the schedule,
Yeah.
Ohio State, USC, Clemson. That's it. The rest is trash.
Yeah. 9-3. Another fucking Notre Dame year.
Yeah, so that's 3 big games, bro.
That used to be
that's
good
3
back in
big
the 80s.
games. That's 3 big games. But that's 3 big boy,
Over
big
8.
boy games.
So we're all going over the 8.5, right?
Clemson's legit.
Yep.
Yeah,
USC.
I'm with it. All right, Utah, 42nd ranked strength of
I see.
schedule.
Yes.
They got Florida first week. Then they got Baylor at Baylor.
At home.
UCLA.
At home, right? At home.
They're at Baylor. They're home against UCLA. At Oregon State. Do not underestimate the Beavs. Telling you. Then at USC, that's another loss. Oregon at home, that's probably a loss or a very tight win. At Washington, another tight one. You got some coin flip games in here. I don't know which way to go. Over under is 8.5. That's a toughie.
Oh, they know what they're doing with that line at 8.5 because they're looking at the schedule. You know, the line's makers. You're right,
with
Shawn.
my emotions, Smokey.
8.5. They got a couple tough trips out there. Oregon. Ooh. I'll go under. I'm gonna take 8. I'll go 8-4.
Oh wow. Okay.
And one of Kyle Whittingham's best coaching performances. Doing the prop it all.
Oh, that's right. What's his name? Cam Rising might not be ready week 1 because he tore his ACL in the Rose Bowl this past January.
Yep.
It's only been 8 months. He might not be ready for that Florida game. Week 1.
They got it at home. I mean, it took a special performance to get beat last year in the swamp. Leading off. That's a tough ask for a Utah team. And they played it tight. They played it close.
What do you got, Shawn?
I'll rock the under on this one.
Yeah, I'm in line
You
with you guys.
just talked me into it. I was leaning into the over, but you said this quarterback just ripped his. So, yeah.
His mobility is what kept them alive till we knocked him out in 2021.
Right.
But yeah, then he got knocked out. So under has the juice right now of the 8.5 at -130. So we're in line there. Oregon, number 68 ranked schedule. That's pretty shitty for a Pac-12 team. They go to Texas Tech, so that's a non-con. At Stanford, at Washington, at Utah, home against USC, home against Oregon State. Shawn, what do you think? The over-under is 9.5.
9.5 on these ducks. These dicks. They play fucking no. Gosh, that shit's weak.
It's a tough schedule, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It is.
What did you say? I thought you said it was number 68.
I'm looking at it though. These seem like tough teams.
Who?
I know
Utah and USC.
Yeah, there you're right. Forget what I said.
I want to go under, but
I was talking out of my ass.
Like, how can I?
Right.
10-2. You're looking at 10. Is Oregon 10-2?
No, they're fucking 9-3.
All
Yeah,
right.
they're 10-2.
Under.
I'm going over.
You're going over? Oh shit!
Oh,
All right,
there you
Jeff.
go.
What do you got?
Over 10-2.
I'm going under. You guys are high. Under is -125. Over is 105 on the juicers.
I know. I think I got like 4 teams in the Pac-10 going fucking 10 wins. Utah, Washington. Oregon,
That's your college football playoffs right there.
The Pac-12 is going to be a closer vote this year. I'm calling it too, Shawn. I got multiple 10-2 teams with one conference loss. Yeah, the Pac-12 is going to be a mess.
Look at the darlings from last year at 7.5 is your over under. Jesus.
Oh my God. Can you get the 8? Can we get the 8? Shit.
Seems like they should be able to. I don't know their team at all, but looking at tough games at Houston. If Houston is tough, that might be a tough game. Home against West Virginia, at Iowa State, at K-State, at Texas Tech, home against Texas, home against Baylor. Yeah. I see
At
4
Missouri,
losses to finish the
SEC's gonna-
season. What are you talking about, Missouri?
We're talking about K-State, right?
No, TCU.
Oh, I'm sorry.
TCU is 7.5 over under. I see 4 losses to finish the season. Not to mention K-State,
under.
Ohio State, Virginia.
I'll
They
go under,
lost.
Joe.
They lost
Seven,
everybody, right?
They go 7-5. Under 7-5.
We're all under.
Under.
All right, K-State, 15th ranked strength of schedule. Over under is a flat 8.
Fuck if I know. A flat
I
8.
got
What?
a UCF. That'd probably be a loss. At Oklahoma State, probably a loss. Home against TCU, coin flip. At Texas is a loss. At Kansas, I'd say is a loss.
Really?
You got the rest of Iowa. Yeah. Kansas doesn't suck anymore. They don't have K-State on their schedule because they are K-State. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to stay with you, bro.
So what do you got? Over under 8.
Oh,
That's a pusher.
8? I'll push. I'll push. Yeah,
I'm your
push 8.
pusher. I'm your mama.
I'll push
I'm
8.
your daddy. I'm that nigga in the alley.
Hey, I'll push 8. I'm pushing.
I'm going over.
Ooh.
Oh, Shawn the contrarian.
Jeff under?
Under. I'm push. I'm pushing 8. I'm pushing 8.
All right.
That's what I think they're at.
Gotcha. Oregon State, the Beavs up next. We got them at a 57th ranked strength of schedule. 8.5 is the over under. Utah, UCLA, Washington, and Oregon seem to be the tough games.
Is Colorado going to be anything yet?
No.
They're at Colorado. Prime time going to have those boys ready?
Is he? Who knows? They're all new. Nobody knows. He changed over the entire roster of that fucking college football team. like 80% of it, bro.
He's prime time.
Yeah, nobody knows. So I mean, it's completely unpredictable.
Yeah.
We gotta watch in week 1 and to see. Nobody knows.
What is
let's
what's
wrap
the
her up
number
here.
on this one? A flat 8, Joe? Oregon State?
8.5 on Oregon State.
Under.
Okay.
8 and 4 at best.
Yeah, I'm going under too.
Pac-12 is loaded.
I'll be the contrarian. I'll go over on that shit.
Good call. All right, next up,
I'm
Oklahoma.
excited.
You're cool.
I'm over on all of them. It's football season. There's a lot of positivity in the air.
Yeah,
Hey,
I can
Everybody's got
smell
a
it.
chance.
Pac-12's got quarterbacks though. They all got quarterbacks. That's the thing. Who's gonna light it up? All the top 7, 8 schools in the Pac-12 have legit dudes at quarterback.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting. Who's
Right.
gonna deliver?
Finishing up the top 21 here. Oklahoma, 49th ranked strength of schedule. One more season before they go into the SEC and really learn what football is. We have to play defense and stuff. Looking at their schedule, let's see, their over-under is 9.5. Major sneezes. We got home against Texas, home against UCF. I don't know.
The Texas game is always the river shootout. It's in Dallas.
At Kansas, home against TCU. We've established TCU's nothing. At Oklahoma State seems like a toughie.
Is Cincinnati at Cincinnati? Is that a game?
Yeah. I don't know what they got though. It seems like most of their dudes are gone, especially their coach. I'm going under the 9.5, man.
Under.
They got a
Yes,
long ways
under.
to go.
I'm
Venables.
going over.
All right.
This is
you
trash
got it.
ass schedule.
Yeah, it is. They still have the
And
dudes.
they are gonna have a wake up call next year. Gonna be
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be a bad fucking first year in that SEC.
I
It's going to
feel
be bad. Like 500 should be your goal. So North Carolina's coming up next. Then we got Wisconsin. Then we're done. North Carolina, 43rd ranked strength of schedule, over under of 8, flat on the number. They start off at home against South Carolina, so that's a non-con. They got Miami at home, at Clemson, at NC State. That's about all their tough games. At Pitt. So good quarterback on this team.
real good quarterback.
Yep. So we got a flat 8. What do you guys got? I'm going over just to set the tone.
I'm over for sure. I think this kid might win the Heisman.
Good. May Drake. Jeff.
Yes, I think it's a clear over. 8 wins.
Okay.
Yeah, I think UNC's pushing for the championship.
Juice is on minus 115 in both directions. So for you fence riders, enjoy. Wisconsin, 59th ranked strength of schedule. Good season for old Fickle to take over. Not a difficult one. Over under is 8.5. Let's look at the Batchers. Non-con, easy. They go to Washington State. It's easy. At Purdue, they got home against Iowa. At Illinois, home against Buckeyes. Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwest. Yeah, seems like an over for me.
What is the number?
8.5.
That is about as easy as you can get it. You got to play Iowa, but you get them at home.
That's an easy 9, right?
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
9-3, easy 9-3.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's over, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Iowa, Ohio State, Minnesota.
Yeah. The juice is
yeah.
minus 155 over. So seems like we're right in line with Vegas. So, all right. We did it. We made it through 21 teams. Got our over-unders. I am tracking everybody in the chat as well. I'm taking Steven. I see your fucking messages. Billy, appreciate you. Odysseus, always. Love you guys sticking around through this long countdown. Temper, I see you. Todd Doyle, nice to have you. So I'm going to be tracking all these, and we're going to recount all of these predictions at the end of the season. So if you don't get all your predictions in here for the top 21, drop them in the comments for the video. I'll mark them all down. I've got a document going right now for me, Jeff and Shawn, and we'll point out who is right and who is wrong, because that's what we do best around here, right?
That's right.
All right, tough guy. So appreciate everybody joining us. Don't forget, we got a ton of dudes in here. Please, if just half of you guys hit the like, I would greatly appreciate it. So don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell and all that happy shit. So thank you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.